Family fractures and Salem showdowns, Monday, June 30th in Days of Our Lives. The upcoming June 30th episode promises to stir up every kind of emotion, from painful family reckonings to the unraveling of loyalty and trust among Salem's most powerful families. Whether you're tuning in for the mother-daughter drama between Gabi and Ari, the mystery surrounding EJ's shooting, or the tension boiling between Chanel and Paulina, there's no denying that the drama is hitting new highs. Let's dive into what's coming and why this particular week might just strike a deeper emotional chord with longtime viewers. Gabi and Ari, a fragile bond begins to heal. Since Ariana, played with New Age by Marissa Reyes, returned to Salem, her relationship with her mother, Gabi, now portrayed by Sherry Jimenez, has been rocky at best. For many older viewers, this storyline echoes a common truth. There comes a moment when your children no longer see you as their hero but as a hurdle. And that moment can hurt more than words can say. Gabi, always strong-willed and emotionally reactive, found herself completely unprepared for the rebellious young woman Ari had become. When Ari, barely 18, snuck out one night and flirted openly with older men at a bar she shouldn't have even been in, Gabi exploded. To her, this wasn't just about rules, it was about fear. Fear for her daughter's safety, fear of history repeating itself, fear of losing control. But Ari didn't respond with remorse. She met Gabi's fury with sarcasm and defiance, dismissing her mother's worries as overbearing and outdated. The conflict grew sharper each day. Still, something unexpected happened, a break in the clouds. In a tender moment this past week, Ari and Gabi shared an honest, raw conversation. No yelling, no accusations, just a mother and daughter remembering how much they love each other even when life makes it nearly impossible to show it. There were no grand apologies, but sometimes peace doesn't need to be loud. For Gabi and Ari, it was enough that for one moment they were on the same side again. EJ and Johnny, a father-son bond strained to the brink. Elsewhere in Salem, another family is grappling with broken trust, this time between father and son. EJ Demera Dan Furigal, ever the calculating patriarch, is trying to navigate a stunning revelation. Someone fired a bullet at him, and his own son Johnny Carson Boatman may have been the one holding the gun. Johnny himself admitted he was armed and emotionally shaken when he confronted EJ. One bullet was missing from the gun, but he swears he didn't pull the trigger. And here lies the emotional complexity. EJ believes him publicly. He tells others he trusts Johnny, but behind that composed exterior, EJ is racked with doubt, suspicion, and guilt. EJ knows he's pushed his son to far too many expectations, too many schemes, and not nearly enough love. In a moment of painful self-awareness, he chooses to protect Johnny, even if the truth is still murky. To EJ, admitting Johnny might have done it would also mean admitting he failed him as a father. But truth can't stay buried forever in Salem. Marlene and Roman step in. Marlene Deidre Hall and Roman Josh Taylor offer a voice of reason and compassion, firmly believing in Johnny's innocence. They've watched him grow. They've guided him through possession, heartbreak, and personal transformation. To them, Johnny is not a would-be murderer, a confused young man caught in emotional crossfire. And yet, the police have a job to do. Jadilia Cantu, ever the diligent officer, won't turn a blind eye just because the accused is a Demera. She's determined to follow the facts even if it puts her at odds with her superior, Rafa Galen Gearing, who would prefer a more discreet resolution. As tension brews in both the Demera mansion and the Salem Police Department, one thing is clear: no one can control where the truth will lead. Paulina and Chanel, a family power struggle emerges. While gunshots and lies shake the Demera legacy, another mother-daughter battle plays out on the other side of town with stakes that are just as emotional. Chanel Raven Bowens has long lived in the powerful shadow of her mother, Paulina Price Jackie Harry. A woman of influence, Paulina has always been willing to bend rules and pull strings to protect her daughter. And for a while, Chanel welcomed that protection, especially in the ruthless world of Salem business and politics. But now, the cost is becoming clear. Paulina's support has begun to feel like control. Chanel's independence of personal and professional is under threat, and the cracks are beginning to show. As Paulina scolds her daughter for questionable decisions, Chanel pushes back, frustrated by the ever-present sense that nothing she does is ever truly her own. It's the classic generational divide. The older woman, hardened by life and eager to prevent her daughter from making the same mistakes, faces off with the younger woman, desperate to be seen, heard, and respected on her own terms. This storyline resonates especially with older viewers who have been both daughters and mothers in their lifetimes, caught between giving guidance and letting go. A city in turmoil, a week of reckonings. As June comes to a close, Days of Our Lives is not just wrapping up a month of drama, it's opening the door to deeper emotional storylines with universal truths. Whether it's the pain of a mother watching her child pull away, or the guilt of a father realizing he might be the reason his son turned on him, This Week in Salem is less about soap opera shock and more about human emotion. Here's what to expect on Monday, June 30th. EJ defends Johnny, even as his doubts deepen. Johnny confesses to Marlene and Roman about the missing bullet but maintains he didn't fire it. Jada pushes forward with the investigation, clashing with Rafe's desire for discretion. Chanel and Paulina clash, as Paulina pushes for control and Chanel demands independence. Ari and Gabi find peace, proving that even the most strained relationships can heal with time, patience, and love. Final reflections. Salem's struggles mirror real life. What makes Days of Our Lives such a lasting part of television history isn't just the twists and cliffhangers, it's the way it reflects our own lives back to us. Parents struggling to connect with adult children trying to define themselves in the shadow of powerful parents. Families trying, and often failing, to communicate through years of silence and misunderstanding. This week, Days reminds us that sometimes forgiveness is a quiet moment between mother and daughter. That loyalty doesn't always mean telling the truth, and that in familias real or fictional, it's the moments of connection that matter most. As always in Salem, secrets will rise, relationships will strain, and the future will be uncertain. But if Gabi and Ari can reconnect, if EJ can protect Johnny despite everything, then maybe, just maybe, there's hope for healing. Picture the cozy bustle of the Brady pub, the warmth of a family dinner, and the quiet intensity of a manuscript that holds secrets too personal to share. From corporate power plays to heartfelt confessions, this episode is a reminder of why we keep coming back to Days of Our Lives. So, grab a warm cup of coffee, settle into your favorite chair, and let's dive into the latest chapter of Salem's saga, where the stakes are high and the heart of the story beats strong. A power shift at Titan. The episode opens in the familiar warmth of the Brady pub, where the clink of glasses and the hum of conversation create a comforting backdrop. Alex Kyriakis, with his easy charm and ambitious spirit, is wiping down the bar, his mind likely on the challenges facing Titan, the family business that's been a cornerstone of the Kyriakis legacy. The door swings open, and Kate Roberts Brady strides in, her presence commanding yet warm. Kate, a woman who's navigated Salem's storms with grace and grit, has news that stops Alex in his tracks. "I'm taking your job at Titan," she says, her voice steady but kind. "I've thought it over, Alex, and almost losing Philip has changed everything." Kate's words carry the weight of a mother's love and a fierce determination to honor her late husband, Victor Kyriakis. Titan was always Victor's favorite child, she continues, her eyes softening with memory. "I owe it to Hyman to Philip to make sure it thrives. I want to do right by you both." For Kate, stepping into the role of editor-in-chief of Titan's publishing division isn't just about power. It's about securing a future for her son, Philip, whose recent brush with death has left her reevaluating her priorities. She assures Alex that her decision isn't solely tied to one project, particularly one stormy night, the manuscript that's been causing a stir. "I want Titan to be a success," she says, her tone firm but encouraging. "And I know you do too." Alex nods, his mind racing. He's been championing One Stormy Night, a novel he believes could be a game-changer for Titan's publishing arm. Kate's promise to support his vision, while taking the reins, is both a challenge and an opportunity. For those of us who've watched Kate evolve from a cunning strategist to a fiercely protective mother, this moment is a poignant reminder of her strength and her commitment to family. But as Alex returns to his work, wiping down the bar with a thoughtful expression, we can't help but wonder, what will Kate's leadership mean for Titan, and how will Alex navigate this new dynamic? A dinner table debate. Later that evening, Alex returns home to share a family dinner, the table set with warmth and the promise of connection. As the aroma of a home-cooked meal fills the air, he breaks the news to Stephanie Johnson, his partner in both life and work. "Kate's accepted the job as editor-in-chief," he says, his voice tinged with excitement. "She's all in for Titan's publishing division." He pushes a familiar topic across the table, his eyes lighting up as he mentions One Stormy Night. "This book is our ticket, Stephanie," he insists, leaning forward. "It's a win-win for Kate, for us, for the readers. We need to publish it. Stephanie, however, isn't so sure. Her face clouds with unease, her fingers fidgeting with her napkin. The manuscript for One Stormy Night is hers, a deeply personal work filled with emotions and experiences she's not ready to share with the world. Alex, I'm not comfortable with this, she says, her voice soft but firm. It's too personal. Alex, ever persistent, pushes back gently, his enthusiasm undimmed. What if you publish it under a pseudonym, he suggests. No one would know it's you. I promise we'd keep it a secret. The idea hangs between them, a compromise that could protect Stephanie's privacy while giving Titan the boost it needs. After a long pause, Stephanie relents, her voice barely above a whisper. Okay, but only if you swear no one will find out. The dinner table, once a place of warmth, now homes with tension. Stephanie's agreement is reluctant, a decision born of trust in Alex but shadowed by her fears. For those of us who followed Stephanie's journey, this moment is a reminder of her vulnerability beneath her confident exterior. The manuscript is more than a book, it's a piece of her heart, and sharing it, even anonymously, feels like a leap into the unknown. Will Alex keep his promise, or will the truth about One Stormy Night come to light, exposing Stephanie's secrets, a friend's insight and a risky revelation? The drama deepens when Stephanie confides in Jada Hunter, Salem's sharp-witted police detective and a trusted friend. Over coffee in a quiet corner of the town square, Stephanie opens up about her hesitation to publish One Stormy Night. There's too much personal stuff in it, she admits, her voice laced with worrying. It's like putting my soul on display. Jada, with her no-nonsense demeanor and warm heart, leans forward, her eyes encouraging. If you're this worried, there's only one way to settle it, she says. I need to read it. Stephanie hesitates, her fingers tightening around her coffee cup, but Jada's sincerity wins her over. She hands over the manuscript, her heart pounding as Jada flips through the pages. As Jada reads, her eyes widen, and a playful smile tugs at her lips. Steph, these spicy parts, she says, her voice teasing. Did you live these, or are they straight from your imagination? The question catches Stephanie off guard, and she laughs, a blush creeping up her cheeks. A little of both, she admits, her voice light but guarded. The moment is a rare break in the tension, a reminder of the friendship that grounds Stephanie in Salem's chaotic world. But as Jada dives deeper into the manuscript, Stephanie's unease lingers. Sharing her work with a friend is one thing. Letting it go public, even under a pseudonym, is another. The heart of Salem's story. For those of us who've cherished days of our lives through the years, this episode is a masterclass in blending personal stakes with professional ambition. Kate's decision to take the helm at Titan is a powerful move, driven by her love for Philip and her loyalty to Victor's legacy. Alex's enthusiasm for One Stormy Night reflects his drive to prove himself, but it also puts him at odds with Stephanie's need for privacy. And Jada's role as a friend and confidant adds a layer of warmth to a story filled with tension and uncertainty.
All new Days of Our Lives, only on Peacock.